What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Treywick. Today we're living on the beach. We've been out here at Cape Lookout for 2 nights now, 3 days, and today I'm gonna unhook the camper. It's gonna stay right here, and we're gonna head up to hopefully get across to Shackleford Islands where the wild horses roam. Alright, y'all, so I just got off the phone with the ferry service that runs people out here and over to Shackleford Banks, and they said it's $12 to get a ride over to Shackleford Banks from here and back. So I'm gonna go up to the little lighthouse visitor center up there and I guess sign in, see what I need to do to get a spot on one of the boats. It's only $12, so it's not too bad. I figured $12 to go over to see an island with wild horses living on it would be pretty cool. So we're gonna do that while we're here. So that's the plan for today. And then we're gonna go from there. I don't know, might definitely do some fishing this evening, but I don't know if we'll get the kayak down and take it over to the sound or the bayside or not. I know that the wind is supposed to be picking up the next couple of days, and I can already tell it's a little bit more right now than it has been the past couple of days. So wind and that little kayak don't really mix too well because it's so light. It just kind of gets pushed around wherever. But that also makes it really easy to get it on top of my camper and to go like upstream or against the wind or against the current or something like that. But then again, if I'm stopping to try and fish, then the wind's just kind of blowing me around. It can get a little bit, I don't know, what's the word? It sucks sometimes. Maybe that's the word. But you know, what can you do with a cheap, lightweight kayak like that? It's just enough to get me out on the water, and that's about it. So anyways, and they allow dogs, so he's got to stay on a leash. Obviously the horses could get scared, or he could chase after him or whatever, so we don't want that. There's not a whole lot of action on the water this morning fishing wise. Looks like some schools of mullet going by, but not a whole lot. Not like last night with the bluefish and the Spanish mackerel. So ended up catching a bluefish last night on the big rod. Actually, as I was reeling it in to check the bait, the bluefish bit it. So, and it was big enough, so I've got it in there with the the Spanish mackerel. So I've got a bluefish and a Spanish mackerel that I can bring home with me. If nothing else, I'll make some fish tacos, or I said I was going to do some fish ramen while I'm out here. I don't know if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to wait to clean the fish when I get home, because I've got them in my little 12-volt cooler freezer type deal, so they'll stay fresh for a couple of days, just whole. And then I don't have to clean up out here because I've got very limited water. I've got an empty 7-gallon jug. I'm gonna throw it in here just in case there's a spigot up there that I can fill it up in, and just go ahead and fill it up. But all right, gonna get unhooked slowly, kind of take my time, let things get opened up, and then we're gonna head up to the lighthouse. All right, so we're walking down to the ferry. The next one leaves at 9:45, so we got about 15-20 minutes before it gets over here. Okay, bud. Ellis? Yes, sir.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
He's ready to go.
All right. Well, getting ready.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all. All right, bud. All right, bud. Let's go for a walk. Morning. So I am, I guess, going around the east side of the island here, Shackleford Banks. Saw two or three of the horses right as I was getting off of the ferry. So honestly, I haven't been keeping an eye out for them behind me. I've just been looking at the bay here. So some of these boats, check that one out. Pretty cool looking houseboat with the tuna tower on it. See right behind me, I've got a herd of Shackleford Banks wild horses. Did a little bit of research, and from what I could tell, an article I saw said that the DNA of these horses are traced back to similar DNA of the colonial Spanish horses. So they're saying that they got here possibly through shipwrecks centuries ago, or the colonial settlers maybe leaving one or two back, but most likely through shipwrecks. The horses swam to shore. This is where they end up, and they've been here for, I guess, centuries apparently. So I think it's pretty cool. That one's a blonde horse. That's gonna be lunch today. Y'all like my awning weight? It's Buck's water bowl full of water. Guess I'll have to refill it as he starts drinking it, but it's working pretty well right now. And then I have those legs just stuck in. They're probably a few inches underneath the sand. Keeps them from moving around a little bit and kind of holds things together. flew away on me. So I think I'm gonna do that instead of it being at an angle because the wind's coming from back here. So that should let the sand just blow over it, hopefully. Alright, so I got back, ate some lunch, and now I'm seeing some bluefish jumping and chasing bait. So there's a lot of bird activity. So I re-rigged up the spoon that I broke off earlier because there was a weird knot in my line, and I'm gonna go throw it around a little bit, see if we can't catch something. I'm kind of surprised these didn't wash away. I guess the just dry sand got blood on them. Interesting. All right, y'all. The wind, the wind is bearable, but the wind is coming over this entire swath of sand and these dunes. It's covering absolutely everything. Sand. It's like, you know, getting blasted with a sand blaster with the wind coming underneath the camper here. So I'm gonna pull up here. I'm gonna go to the other side and possibly a little bit further north, because one of the few articles that I read before coming out here, get over here. One of the few articles that I read before coming out here said to have the wind at your face. Right now, the wind is at my back, so I'm gonna head. The wind's kind of coming out of the northeast, so I'm gonna head over to the other side and kind of just start working my way north and just exploring. When I came down here, I just came straight south and I didn't stop until I got to this spot, which is basically at the very south end. There is some spots over there. There was one camper or tent that camped just right down here on this end, but they had to move their vehicle last night. They had it on one side, and then the water came up, so they had to move it. They moved it a little bit further back from their tent. I guess they figured if the tent floods, they can wake up and get in the truck and get it out of here before it gets flooded. But anyways, everything's covered in sand. I mean, there's a layer of sand on top of my camp stove here, and on everything just because it's getting moved over and into this. So, gonna try to kill two birds with one stone. Maybe get to a little bit better fishing, explore, and reduce the sand that's coming in. With this wind, I have a feeling that no matter where I go, something's gonna be blowing in, whether it's sand, salt water. It's getting my eyes down. But, all right, I'm going to cut this video here. I think it was a good one. The next video, I'm going to be exploring, trying to find this new spot. So be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when that next one comes out. And if you're not watching this video as this one comes out, I'm going to put part 3 or the next part, whatever it is, right here.